In the past 2 years, more than 300,000 Malians have sought refuge in eastern Mauritania as fighting in Mali's civil war intensifies. Jihadists and other groups control some 2/3 of the West African country's territory. The army has brought in Russian mercenaries, the former Wagner group, to fight them, and independent monitors accuse them of widespread abuses. Our report takes us to the border with Mauritania. A warning, the accounts you're about to hear are graphic.
At the end of this road, 500 metres away, lies Mali. Here, on the Mauritanian side, hundreds of makeshift tents have been set up. Over the past 2 years, hundreds of thousands of Malians have crossed the border. This family fled Timbuktu to escape the violence between the Malian army and armed groups that now control much of the north and centre of the country. Like many others, they accuse Malian soldiers and their Russian allies of abuses against civilians.
I saw the Wagner fighters seize a man from the village and lay him on his back. They held him down by pressing on his chest, then slit his throat. They threw his head next to his body. Another man, they shot him in the thigh. He was running and limping. He hid in a hut. The Wagner fighters followed him, took a brick and smashed him with it. Then they set his body on fire while he was still alive, right in front of us, using gasoline.
They left everything they owned behind.
It's the Mauritanians and the other displaced people who gave us what we needed to make this tent. We don't even have enough to eat.
They just finished building this shelter.
We need to find something to reinforce the tent because we have nothing.
The family hopes to settle in Umbara camp, 60 kilometres away, where nearly 150,000 refugees receive humanitarian assistance. But even here at the camp, assistance is limited. Since the United States cut its foreign aid this year, vital help has sharply decreased. Some aid is coming through, but from an unexpected source. Ukraine has been sending food supplies to help victims of the Russian mercenaries operating in the region. At this school canteen in Umbara, Ukrainian wheat and vegetable oil are used to prepare the meals for the children. At school, at least, the children can count on one guaranteed meal a day.
It's only recently, since the canteen was set up, that children started coming to school. Before the canteen opened, the little ones would go into the bush with their parents to collect small firewoods to sell. But the most serious issue is that the number of families receiving no assistance is far higher than the number who have received donations.
Those in the camp are the lucky ones. Half the refugees live outside its boundaries and get no help. They're mostly herders from nomadic communities. Their livestock represents their only wealth. They've had to leave their cattle on the Malian side of the border and must travel back and forth to take care of them. The increase in the number of animals has put increased pressure on local resources. Water was already scarce in this desert region.
We only have this tap for water, for people and for the livestock. Some days there isn't enough. The water we take home, we use it very carefully so the children don't run out of it.
Until now, Mauritanian communities have always shown solidarity by welcoming displaced Malians and sharing their resources with them. But as the number of refugees continues to increase, the question is, for how long?
And we can now speak to Omar Doukali. He's the spokesperson for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Mauritania, from where he joins us now. Welcome. Can you tell us more about the scale of this humanitarian problem on the border between Mali and Mauritania? How many people do rely on aid right now?
Thank you very much, Ben. Good evening, and thank you for the interest in the Malian refugee situation here in Mauritania. Unfortunately, the ongoing conflict in Mali is once again pushing thousands of refugees in search of safety and security here in Mauritania. As mentioned in the report before, more than 300,000 refugees found safety and security here in the region, including 120,000 refugees in Beira camp and the remaining in more than 67 Mauritanian villages here in the border. Since late October and early November, more than 6,000 Malian refugees found safety and arrived here, exhausted by the difficult journey that they lived. The majority of them are women and children. The majority of them also arrived tired, exhausted, ill, and traumatized still by the difficult journey. Some of them, they did report to us that the journey took for some days, while for the others it was weeks. So you can understand the difficult journey that they lived in. Here at the border, relief distribution is being distributed every day. Together with my UNHCR colleagues and also partners, we are distributing emergency items, relief items, shelter, household and kitchen items.
How are you managing to get those supplies through? We're hearing that some supply routes are being blocked.
Indeed, so many refugees did report to us the difficulty to reach Mauritania. They mentioned high risk on the road, also dangerous situations. Some of them, they were obliged to hide. So the situation is very fragile and unpredictable in Mali. Here in the ground, we are distributing items to them, but Mauritania as a country also is showing great solidarity with them by allowing them to stay here and found safety. Mauritanian as well, they do share everything what they have, despite the challenges, the daily challenges and limited resources that they have. So yeah, you can imagine how the situation here in the border.
You alluded to it earlier, and when we mentioned some of the crimes being committed against the civilian population. Can you outline to our viewers what this conflict is actually about?
Well, a lot of refugees did report to us a lot of violence from the other side of the border. And also, we cannot pinpoint and identify the perpetrators, but what we do know that various armed groups are active in that region that is pushing more refugees here in Mauritania. Some of the refugees also, they did share with us that they even fled just by hearing about the violence occurred in their region or neighborhood.
The other question I wanted to ask you was about the Mauritanian population. The picture you paint is one of very generous people. How are they dealing, though, with this huge influx of refugees from Mali?
Indeed. Yeah, Mauritanians, as a matter of fact, they have shown, even in the early 90s, great solidarity with Malian, because this is not the first Malian influx refugees to Mauritania. In the 90s, during that period, Mauritania hosted Malian refugees for several years, and now the situation is occurring again since the beginning of the conflict in Mali in 2012. Mauritanians, since then, they did share with them everything that they have, and the relation between both is very strong in terms of solidarity.
Thank you very much for your insights. Omar Doukali from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees.
Thank you for having me.